Hello, Legler here, and we're back today on F1 2020, and we're here today for round 6 in this FOCC XRL season, and as you can see, we're in qualifying and we're at Hungary, we're at the Hungaroring, and we're going to see if we can set a good lap here. Currently, we're out on the medium to set what we thought was our banker, but you're about to see that it becomes much more than just a banker lap. We're going to start this lap now, heading down the main straight, do a lap of this very high speed technical circuit into turn 1. It's easy to lock up, so you want to trail brake as best as you can, and you activate the DRS as you're still going on traction, so be careful of that. Start on the curve for turn 2 and then run out wide on the exit before moving back left for turn 3. Now into turn 4, so easy to invalidate on the exit. Don't use too much inside curve, but still take advantage of it. Turn 5, do not touch that inside curve where that's an instant spin. Turn 6 and 7 chicane, use as much curb as possible without oversteering. Use the gray astroturf on the right, and then through the S section, use as much curb as you can and easy flat left into a slight lift on the right, and now into the third sector, braking, trail brake into the apex, and use all of the track on the exit. Penultimate corner, easy to lock up, and just as reference, our best lap on the medium tire in practice was a 15.0. So we're going to see what it is coming across the line here. We're out of deployment ERS, but it is a 15.0, so I'm quite happy with that lap. But as you can see, we're on board with Aiden right now, and he is someone who can challenge for this pole position. And I soon realized after I set that lap, that could possibly secure me pole position on the mediums, which would be a big advantage, especially having the soft compound of tire towards the end of the race. So we're just hoping that we're able to keep that pole position. Aiden is currently P3, looking to set a better lap than what he did previously through turn 4. He doesn't use all of the track, but he's still utilizing some of it. Heading out of turn 5 and into the turn 6 and 7 chicane, he makes a huge lockup, so that loses him a lot of time. And into the S section, we're going to see if he can challenge for this pole. We're not sure exactly what our second times were, but Aiden completely washes out the front tires through that corner, so he's losing a lot of time through some of these corners here. Into the penultimate corner, no lockups, which is good, but he does run a little bit wide there, so that's not ideal. And through the final corner, what is the time going to be? It's going to be close to our time. Coming across the line, it's a 15.0, but that's just half a tenth slower than what we did, and Aiden just about had enough time to go out for another lap. But you can see as he's starting his lap, he has traffic up ahead, and he didn't have enough time to find a gap for himself, so he's going to have to back out of that one, and he will stick on P2. He won't be able to claim pole, but he will be P2 in this race. You can see the strategy there, medium to soft. So we start our formation lap. I believe only one other person started on the medium, and that was Disposable Stu in P11. But as we line up on the grid, we're going to see if we can get a better start than these soft compound runners, as the 5 lights are on. It's lights out and let's go racing here in Hungary, and Aiden's got an amazing start, and we've just gotten a terrible start. We're trying to cover off the inside to Triple G, and we're not able to. It's too late for us. And he's going to go down the inside, goes a bit deep, we make slight contact, and now Throne Globe has the better exit on us, and Throne Globe's up ahead now into the braking zone. We're unable to come back at him. Someone has a look around our outside. We have a look around Throne Globe's outside. Going through turn 3 now. It's very close, but it's been a terrible start from us. Heading into turn 4 now, and we've hit the back of Throne Globe, and we have damage in this race. It's been a massive mistake from us. And yeah, that was completely my fault. I wasn't expecting that much of a bunch up through turn 4. But now I have to pay the price in this race for our misjudgment and our mistake. And now we have to box, and since we started on the mediums, we're going to have to go onto the hard tire because we can't box for another set of mediums, or else we'll have to make 2 pit stops in this race. So that's not ideal whatsoever here. As someone's having a look down our inside now, it's Sainz. We're all the way from P1, and we're about to be P10 in this race, as Sainz goes around the outside of us, and we lose that position as well. As we're gonna box now, Aiden's already crossed the line to finish the first lap of the race, which is not great for us whatsoever, as we come into the pit lane now with a wounded car here. We're gonna have to pit onto the slowest compound and hard. We're gonna have a very slow pit stop. Our teammate's in the pits as well, so it's pretty much race over for him, as he has to wait for us to change our front wing, and he has to double stack with us. But you can see Throne Globe's also in the pit lane. I'm assuming he had damage as well. He did get a 5-second penalty. That was not for the collision, that was for speeding in the pits. As we come out of the pit lane now, and the nearest car is just 6 seconds ahead of us, so there's a long way to go. Ahead of the car ahead of us, Red Rex, there's a whopping 21-second gap to 2 high rem in P15. So we've got a lot of work to do if we want to recover from our first lap mistake and our terrible start here. And you can see we're already catching up to Red Rex. 5.2 seconds is the gap now as we head into the chicane, using all the curbs like I said in qualifying, using all of the curb on entry to this S section. And you can see Triple G and Aiden have already crossed the line to finish lap 2 of this race, and we're not even in the 3rd sector. We've just entered the 3rd sector now, so we're so far behind in this race. And to make it even worse, we are on the slowest compound of tire in a 25% race as well, so this is not great for us right now. But we have set a purple sector 2, so we clearly do have pace at the moment. Maybe the 2 leaders aren't battling at this stage, as DRS has been enabled now, heading into turn 1. We've already closed the gap to Red Rex all the way down to 2.3 seconds, as we have a massive oversteer there. But we're going into turn 2 now, and the gap's 2.5 seconds now. We're just trying to close down these gaps. The gap to 2 high 2 ramp is 18.5 seconds. So yeah, as I said, there is still a long way to go before we get even close to catching the pack. But we're going to try our best in this race here. Already, the gap is 1.6 seconds to Red Rex as we head out of the chicane for the 3rd time in this race. And through the S section, Red Rex has possibly made a mistake, and we've caught up nearly a second through there, and gap is just 5/10 now to Red Rex. I doubt we'll be able to make a move into the 3rd sector, but he is lagging all over the place here as we head into the penultimate corner, and he has a massive lag spike, and all of a sudden we're side by side with him out of nowhere, and we get the move done completely unintentionally, but loses us less time, I guess, so we'll take it here. Up ahead now as we set the fastest lap of an 18.9. Up ahead, the gap is 17.3 seconds as Red Rex has a look around the outside, but he's way too far to make a move stick. Already down to 16.9 seconds, 16.3 actually, as Throne Globe beats our fastest lap by, I think, half a tenth there. So, heading into turn 4, we set a purple sector 1, already 3/10 up on our previous time here, as we head out of turn 5 using all of the exit curb, and into turn 6 as much curb as possible, but minimum steering lock. So we head through the S section now, using all of the curbs on each part of the corner, and we take it very nicely through there, heading through this fast right-hander, and now into sector 3. It's 2 purple sectors here. Surely this sector is where we're going to gain the most time, because we were held up a little bit by Red Rex through this sector. So we head out of the penultimate corner. It's a pretty good exit through the final corner, easy to run wide, but we don't do that on that occasion, using all of the exit curb, using the battery, and we go a second faster, and it's at 1 minute 17.8. So that just shows our pace on the hard compound of tire is still enough to catch up to the guys ahead, as the gap is now 13 seconds to the car ahead of Giovinazzi here. As we head out of turn 2 and through turn 3, gap's already down to 12.4 seconds, so we're catching up very quickly to these guys ahead here, as 2 high 2 Rems just lost position to Giovinazzi, and there's yellow flags up ahead, and it looks like 2 high 2 Rem is going slowly, so possibly he's made a mistake. You can see the gap going down. It's all the way down to 4.4 seconds, and it's just going down faster and faster here. 3.9 seconds, so surely he's made a mistake through that section of corners, as we set purple sector 2 by another 1/10 of a second faster than what we did on the previous lap. Heading through the penultimate corner now, we go a little bit out wide, but we don't lose much time at all. And through the final corner, we're just focusing on getting a good exit onto the straight, as someone's in the pit lane. A few cars actually in the pits. We set a fastest lap, another 1/10 faster than what we did previously. But we're racing Raikkonen out of the pit lane now, and it's crucial that we get ahead, and we do get ahead here, because now, since we are ahead, we won't be getting held up by Raikkonen at all, which is crucial for us, because we can just keep on closing the gap to the cars ahead. This 2 high 2 Rem has a 3-second penalty, so we are technically ahead of him as we get our first warning, but we would still like to get ahead of him on track here, just so we can focus on the guys ahead, as Leclerc is a big lag spike there, heading through this S section and exiting now. Leclerc is lagging a lot here. He's on the grass. Yeah, lots of lag from the AI there. As we head into the 3rd sector, we have a look down the inside. Leclerc's lagging all over the place and nearly hits us because of the lag. And we're going to try and get past him as soon as possible, because we don't want to get possible damage from Leclerc lagging all over the place. So we're going to make that move as quickly as possible. And now we've got 2 high 2 Rem just a second ahead of us, 1.1 seconds ahead of us. There's lots of people. We're in the pit lane there as we head out of turn 1 for the 7th time in this race. The gap to 2 high 2 Rem is just 0.6 of a second. Now 0.5 of a second. He's gone slightly wide at turn 2. So we're going to try and take advantage of that. Heading out of turn 3, we have the slipstream into turn 4. We set a purple first sector, 2 high 2 Rem goes wide, and he concedes that position. So we are now in P8 in this race, and some of the guys ahead still are yet to make a pit stop. But up ahead now, you can see we have the net leaders ahead of us, 5.7 seconds ahead, and we're just going to focus on trying to catch up to the leaders now. 5.8 seconds is the gap to Triple G, and then 7.5 seconds is the gap to Aiden. So we're just trying to close that in here as we come out of the penultimate corner. Albon's in the pit lane, quite a few cars in the pit lane, so we're going to see if we can jump them here. He's stacking 3 cars in the pit lane, all AIs, and we will get past all 3 of them in this race. As we cut on to lap 10, we have now caught up all the way from 5.8 seconds to just half a second in 2 laps here, and we're going to see if we can make these moves happen. As Disposable Stu goes into the pit lane, started on the mediums, so he's going to make his one and only pit stop, as we do have the DRS heading onto the main straight, and we're going to see if we can make this move happen as soon as possible, so we can focus on catching Aiden, who's absolutely checked out of this race. He's 5.8 seconds ahead of us here. As we head through turn 2, Triple G has a bit of a lockup, so that just allows us to close up even more. And now the gap is 2.8 tenths to Triple G as we set a green first sector. Into turn 5, Triple G's gone a bit wide, but that doesn't allow us to make an overtake. Heading into turn 6, we have a slight look down the inside, but we're way too far to make a move stick here. So we're heading through the S section now. Just 3/10 is the gap to Triple G. He has a bit of a slide, exiting the S's through this easy flat left into the right. He clips the grass a bit, which is not ideal. And we set a red sector too because of the dirty air. So we're going to try and make this move as soon as possible, because the more we stick behind, the more dirty air we have. So we're just going to lose more time. And we're going to use the 40% battery deployment that we have. We're going to use the DRS. Triple G goes defensive, but it's not enough because we still have a gap, and we go down the inside. And will we be able to make the move stick? Yes, we will. On the exit, Triple G might have a look around the outside, but we go defensive, and he isn't able to make the move stick. Now we're going to try and catch up to Aiden, who is 6 seconds ahead of us now. But we only have 15% ERS to use, as both me and Triple G get a warning at the exact same place, and we both end up getting a penalty. And so heading through the chicane, we only have 20% ERS, and it's so difficult to save ERS, and it's nearly impossible around such a high downforce track like Hungary. And I remember I was using 711 wings, as that higher downforce makes it much harder to save ERS. And you can see, heading on to the final lap, that is just 5% ERS that we have to use as we brake for turn 1. Exiting turn 1 now. The gap to Aiden has gone down all the way to 1.7 seconds. And I know because of our penalty and our mistake at turn 4, we probably won't be able to get this win on after the race results, but we're going to see if we can still overtake him on track here, because most likely Aiden is about to claim victory in Hungary today. As we head through the chicane now, the gap has gone down another 6 tenths is the gap to Aiden. 5 tenths now. So can we get this move done? Heading out of this fast right-hander, and now heading into the third sector, braking for the first corner in the third sector. Aiden has a bit of a lockup into the penultimate corner. We both lock up as we head out of the penultimate corner, and it looks like Aiden has it this time as we head out of the final corner now. And the checkered flag waves. We have the DRS, but it's not enough as Aiden spins across the finish line. And we get P2 in this race. We recover from P10 at the end of lap 1 because of our damage and our mistake. But we end up recovering. Aiden is able to claim his first victory in this league, in this season. We come home in P2. Triple G rounds off the podium in P3. Kimmy gets driver of the day. It's a good job from him as well. Great race overall from pretty much everyone. As you can see the podium celebrations right now. And soon we're going to show the race results here in just a second. You can see them right now. Aiden, as you can see, P1. He claims his first victory in this season, so great job from him. But that's going to be it for this video. If you did enjoy, make sure to like and subscribe, as I post F1 content 3 times per week, Sundays, Tuesdays, and Thursdays. Next week is Belgium, so make sure to stay tuned for that. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye.